And this next one's from Carla. Do you take any supplements with a carnivore diet?
Nope,
No.
nope,
Yeah.
just water, beef. I think, I mean, as far as like nutritional supplements are concerned, liver. I mean, that's
Yeah.
liver, organs, heart, kidney, spleen, those sorts of things. Long brain is great.
Mm.
Those are our supplements. You should make sure that you have proper nutrient levels, B12, folate in particular. Some people just don't get enough folate from skeletal meat and fat, and so you need more liver. Usually 2 to 3 days a week, just a bit of liver is enough to meet people's folate demands if they're deficient. So I'm not deficient in folate. I'm not deficient in B12. Some people may not be optimal, and so they might need to add in a bit of liver. So if you, or selenium or something else.
Right.
And so if you are a bit low on those, then just add in organs, and that's usually the way to go. And if that's not enough, some people have quite severe issues. Some people have, again, from like a vegan background, maybe they're very, very depressed in their nutrients, and it can take months and months and months and months and months to catch up just through your day, even with liver and things like that. And so sometimes if you are very deficient, it's sometimes beneficial to get a B12 shot, for instance, and just get you back up to better levels, because that helps you right now, and you feel much better right now. And so that can be helpful, but otherwise, you can just get it from your meat. And so, I've tested my levels. They're all basically optimal. And with just eating, fatty meat and really only having liver maybe a handful of times in the last decade.
I see.
I've had hundreds of patients now, and I check their testosterone levels. Now, I'm seeing people that are having problems, and they're like, I need help, or people that are just interested in starting a carnivore diet, and we check their bloods before, and we check them after. Invariably, their testosterone goes up, their growth hormone goes up, their other biomarkers improve. And so I have never seen that. I suppose it could happen. I haven't seen it. There could be reasons for that, but you'd have to sort of look at them on a case-by-case individual basis. Exactly what are you eating exactly? What were you doing before? When did you get your test? Did you get your test exactly before you started? And now how long we are after this? Did you take this in a consistent manner? It does matter how you take your blood test, especially for hormones. It matters the time of day. It matters your activity level. It matters if you've had sex or worked out in the preceding days. It matters if you got angry and upset. Someone cut you off in traffic and you freak out at them. That will change your levels. And it matters how long you've been fasting. So I tell people, get all their blood tests first thing in the morning between 8 and 9 a.m., fasted from the night before 9 p.m., so there's a 12-hour window there. You stop eating at 9 p.m., but you actually eat at 9 p.m. So you don't fast for 24 hours. That will change things even more. Just have water after that. You have the same hydration status in the morning, at least 2 glasses of water, no more than 4 glasses of 8 ounces of water in the morning, an hour or 2 before you take the blood test, because your hydration status changes things as well. No smoking, coffee, any supplements or medication before you take the test. Don't take things like biotin for 5 days before you take this test. This can all mess with your blood test. And then no sex or exercise the day of or the day before, and then be sedentary and calm. If you work out the day before, that's going to change your testosterone levels. If you get your testosterone levels checked at 9, and then the next time you check it at noon, it will be different. It will be lower at noon than it will be at 9. Testosterone is a morning hormone. It's maximally released in the morning. It hits all the different receptors, turns on the different genes that it needs to turn on, and then it goes away. And so the effects of the testosterone are being seen throughout the day, but the levels of your testosterone are lower. So if you check it in the afternoon as opposed to the morning, you're going to get completely different results. I've spoken to people online that say, oh, well, what happens here? And I bring this up, and they say, oh, actually, yeah, I think I got it in the afternoon, or this, that, and the other after work. I say, okay, well, just check it again, but only get it in the morning, and do all these other things too. It tends to be a very different number as well. If you're eating just a ton of liver and things like that, that can cause a problem. Certainly with thyroid as well. I mean, that's well documented in the literature, that hypervitaminosis A, so too much vitamin A, which you can get in abundance from liver, and it's fat soluble, so it sticks around. It's hard for our bodies to clear. If you're eating too much of this over time, even if it's you know, again, you don't have to wait for your thyroid to be dead before you diagnose someone with Hashimoto's, right? You can say, okay, well, this is a problem now. Let's stop it from being a problem. So you can get elevated vitamin A levels, and they can start to cause a problem. And before you let this get out of control, you can recognize this. And one of the things that high vitamin A does is it suppresses your TSH, your thyroid stimulating hormone. And so you don't get the same response in your thyroid from the TSH. Your TSH goes up, and it's not getting the same effect at your thyroid. So all of these things can make a difference. So I'd have to sort of look at them on a case-by-case basis, but all of my patients that I've counseled in a very careful way, they've only seen improvements. I've had men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s double or even triple their testosterone without any sort of supplementation, without any sort of TRT or medications or anything like that. And you know, one guy, he was like 72. I've told this story before, but it always cracks me up. He came in just bouncing off the wall. He had so much energy, and his levels had gone up to what you'd expect a healthy 25-year-old to be. And he was just ecstatic. He said he had a ton of energy, felt like a teenager, and you know, was doing very, very well. So that's a very positive result. And I've yet to see the other way happen. One of the things that sometimes you see in the ketogenic literature is that, well, maybe some of your thyroid function changes and your levels are down a bit. But what Professor Steve Phinney from UC Berkeley has done, he's done 30, 40 years of research on ketogenic diets. He's shown that in a state of ketosis, you don't need as much thyroid hormone as you would otherwise. It could be the same to do with testosterone levels. You look at you know, Dr. Sean Baker. I mean, the guy's jacked. I mean, why do we worry about testosterone and give us our secondary male characteristics to put on muscle, to be healthy and virile? And he is. And he's published his testosterone levels, and you know, they weren't, you know, what you'd expect from a 25-year-old, but he's not a 25-year-old, first of all. Second of all, who cares? The guy's jacked, and he's able to, you know, perform at a very high level. He's winning multiple, you know, world championships and setting world records for master class competitions, and very close to world records in rowing for any age. And so big accomplishments, right? The other thing that he pointed out, so you may not need as much testosterone, the rest of your body is working more efficiently and effectively. And second of all, there are different things in meat, such as carnitine, which actually upregulate our testosterone receptors. And so if you have more receptors, you don't need as much testosterone to get the same effect. That can also be the case, that you have more receptors, and that so the level of testosterone that you need to get the physiological output your body is looking for and desires may not be as high. Either way, the results are there, and you know, you get very good results.